Hi everyone, and welcome to The Well-Educated Artist. Today I'm going to show you how to make an achromatic rolling bubble painting using the bloom technique and just black and white pillow paint with black and white cell activator. So jumping right in, I'm beginning by dividing my canvas in half so that the top is going to be white and the bottom is going to be black. And I'm putting down my white pillow paint, which is Diamond Brite White. It's a semi-gloss house paint with nothing added to it. And I'm just going to use my bigger jar to put down more paint because it takes quite a bit with a canvas this size. I'm going to take the white all the way to the edges. And once I've spread out all of my white, I am going to begin on the bottom half of my painting. And I'm going to use black. This is Onyx Black from Color Place. It's a Walmart brand paint. And I'm just going to lay that down. And once my black pillow is down, then I'm just going to take cell activator. In this case, since it's black, I'm going to use my contrasting white cell activator. And I'm just going to put it on the back of a number 14 palette knife. And this one, I believe, is the Well-Educated Artist version, but you can just use Australian Floetrol. And in this case, this is Payne's Gray and Oxide Black mixed together. And I'm just going to glide it right over the top of my white house paint to make cells. And you can see they come up fairly quickly, and I'm just going to do that over and over and try to get the movement of the cells with the black cell activator. I'm going to keep this just black and white today. So it's just going to take me a few minutes of going through and look at those cells. It's so satisfying to see those cells come up. And I want to have the feel of we've got bubbles floating through the sky. At least that's what I want. I've got bubbles rolling down a hill, and I've got bubbles going off in the sky, and I have a lot of contrast. At least that's what I want to go for here. You can let me know if you think that I succeed with that. So once I finish with my black cell activator, then I'm going to add my titanium white cell activator made with Amsterdam titanium white. And my mix, but of course you can use all kinds of things to make cells, with Australian Floetrol being the easiest one. I do have a video out on how to make the Well-Educated Artist version of cell activator. It's just a cheaper alternative to the Floetrol, Australian Floetrol version of it. It does have regular American Floetrol in it and a couple of other things that are very easy to obtain here in the US. And so once I am done with getting down all of my beautiful cells on my black, then I will be finished with my background and I can move on to phase 2. So here's what we end up with for the background: a contrasting black on white and white on black. And now we just need to let this dry for a couple of days, and then we can come back and do the next step, which is to embellish and add some bubbles. Okay, it's been a few days, and here we have our background. It dried pretty well. There's lots of movement. So I've got my downward slope. It goes right down the middle, as you can see. And I definitely have my contrast. So we've got my white on black and my black on white down at the bottom. And I'm going to have my bubbles coming down the slope. You've got the idea of the bubbles off into the sky. And then we've also got the bubbles, which turned out really well, down at the bottom with the white and the black. Okay, now that we have our background, we can begin our embellishments. I'm just going to take some cups that I have lying around. Since I'm a pour painter, I have a lot of cups, and they're in different sizes, and I'm going to use these as my templates. Of course, you could use a protractor, but for me, the cups work pretty well. So I'm going to take my largest cup and try to figure out exactly where I want to put a bubble. And I'm going to be taking 2 acrylic pens. One is white and one is black, and in the black area I'm going to use the white, and in the white area I'm going to use the black when I draw my bubbles, just so that they kind of stand out a little bit more. But we're only going to be using these 2 colors. So just draw right around your cup, the black one and the white. And I won't recommend these pens. They're not the greatest, but you know, you can use the ones that you like, or you can just use a paintbrush if you like, using white and black acrylic. Okay, so there we are. You can see what we have, and that's going to be my biggest bubble. Now I've got to figure out where all my bubbles are going to live. So I need some small bubbles and I need some big bubbles. So I'm going to take my small plastic cup and I'm going to put it above the bigger bubbles so I can have some smaller bubbles up upon the top, so it looks like kind of tumbling down a hill. So I'm going to use my black pen again right in the white area so it shows up a little better. And then I'll put my white pen in the black area. Now another way to put down your bubbles with cups is actually to dip them in paint. You can kind of just dip around the edge and then kind of use it as a stamp. That's another way to get the round shape. And there is my little bubble. He's so cute. And now what I'm going to do, and this is for each one, I'm going to be adding more bubbles, is I am going to just highlight especially the white and the black area. And I'm going to add some black in the white area, and that's going to kind of give that a three-dimensional look. And then of course I'm going to add some light reflections. I'll go in and put those reflections after I am done, but right now I am just putting down my darker paint and then I'm wiping my paintbrush off and then coming back in and removing some paint so that you have the illusion of roundness there on that two-dimensional space. We now have the roundness and the three-dimensional look. Now I have to do this for every single bubble that I create. So in the large bubble, I'm adding the white. You can really see the white contrasting with the black. So I'm just going to put some on and remove it, making sure that the darkest is on the outside of the bubble. And yes, I'm known to use my fingers sometimes. Once I'm done with the white, I'm going to go back in and use my black for shadow over the white part of the painting, just so that you can actually see it. If you were to put white here, you would not be able to see it at all. Trust me, I've tried. So the black shadow and just putting it on and removing it is going to allow you to see it a lot better, and you definitely have more contrast. So I'm going to do that for each of my bubbles, and that is a little bit of a long process, but it's well worth it in the end.
My appetite, don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here.
Once my darker shadows are in, I can go back in with my white paint and I can add my highlights so that you can actually see them against the white. I also can use either the white acrylic paint, or as you can see here, I also use my white acrylic pen brush. So using both of them adds a lot of interest. I also decide I want a few more bubbles, and that means a lot more shadows and a lot more highlights. But the more the merrier. Okay, I think it's time to take a step back and take a look, and I think I'm done, or I'll just keep on working. So here you can see what I end up with. My beautiful bubbles against my white and my dark background, and I really like it. Thanks for joining me for today's bubble painting. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks, y'all. Bye.